properly designed universal basic income experiment involves a saturation site where an entire community gets the money. It could be a village or a town or a part of a city, but the treatment group needs to test the impacts of universality in some way. Experiments like this have been carried out. The Namibia UBI experiment provided money to an entire village of about 1,000 people. The India UBI experiment provided money to 8 entire villages, which was about 6,000 people. The Dauphin experiment in Canada in the 1970s used a saturation design, providing income to a third of the population of Dauphin, which had a population of about 10,000 people. All three of these experiments had very significant positive results. Namibia observed a 301% increase in entrepreneurship and a 42% decrease in all crime. Employment increased 25%. School attendance doubled, and dropout rates fell from 40% to 5%. India observed a tripling in entrepreneurship, more employment overall, and better health. Dauphin observed a 9% decrease in hospitalization rates, a 15% fall in crime, and a 37% fall in violent crime that was mostly due to far less domestic abuse. A more recent saturation pilot at the community level in India even resulted in the community forming a new labor union. The closest thing to a saturation pilot in recent years among the 150 plus guaranteed income pilots in the US took place in Chelsea, Massachusetts during the height of the pandemic, when about 15% of its population, via a lottery of 40,000 people, experienced a guaranteed $200 to $400 a month per household, depending on household size. A randomized controlled study of its impact on health found a 27% decrease in emergency department visits compared to the control group. The largest decreases were behavioral health-related emergency department visits, which dropped 62% relative to the control mean, and substance use-related emergency department visits, which dropped 87%. These health impacts are so large that I wonder if the pandemic may have functioned as a confound in the opposite direction, where outside of a pandemic, perhaps the money would have had less of an impact. But it makes no sense to ignore such results in defense of an opinion that claims the UBI in the US would have no health impacts, while holding up some non-saturation pilot to defend the opinion. From all the studies I've read, it appears that the biggest impacts from cash provision appear within saturation pilots, where entire communities benefit universally. Remember that the next time you hear that a basic income pilot was somehow disappointing. Was it a saturation pilot